I front-mounted the Be Quiet Pure Loop all-in-one 240mm liquid cooler inside my Cougar MX33-G ATS case. But I couldn't mount the two Pure Wing 120mm fans in the recessed area behind the front mush panel. Since the screw holes were also recessed in the frames, the long screws weren't long enough. I'll show an old school hack and several alternatives for installing the fans in the recessed area. If you haven't seen my review of the Be Quiet Pure Loop AIO liquid cooler, a link to that video is in the description below. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to see more videos like this. I've collected loose hardware from building and disassembling PCs for 25 years. Screws, bolts, washers, nuts, standoffs, and whatever else. For many years, I store them in a plastic baggie inside my junk box. I switched to a vinyl storage tube that I picked up from Orchard Supply Hardware 10 years ago. You never know when you might need something for a later PC build. I didn't have any longer screws to replace the ones that came with the Pure Loop AIO. I was looking for something shorter, say a motherboard standoff. Standoffs provide a 1/4 inch of clearance between the motherboard and the case. In my case, pun intended, I needed a 1/4 inch clearance between the fans and the frame. I have plenty of standoffs that I removed from old cases over the years. After picking through all the loose hardware, I found 8 brass standoffs that I needed. These had the number 6-32 thread on both ends, the outside and the inside. The old school standoffs that were common in PC cases 20 years ago. I pulled these out of my old Inwin cases from the late 1990s. They're not available on Amazon or Newegg, but I did find an eBay listing for a bag of 25 at $10 from a Hong Kong seller. Before I can install the standoffs, I need to unmount and disassemble the radio. I remove all the short screws from the recessed area to unmount the radiator, and all the long screws to unmount the fans from the radiator and disconnect the cables. I put the radio back into place with the tubing and inline pump on the bottom. I'm using a 3/16 nut driver to screw in each standoff through the frame into the radiator. The same nut driver that I used to unscrew the standoff years ago. Each standoff must screw in straight, or it won't line up with the long screws. Go slow to avoid stripping the screw holes in the radiator. All 8 standoffs should hold the radiator tight against the frame. The Be Quiet logo on the center of the fan should face outward from the frame. Line up the mounting holes with the standoffs, and the fan should click on top of the standoffs. Put a long screw through each mounting hole and screw in with a screwdriver. All 8 long screws should hold the fans against the standoffs. If an old school standoff unavailable, use the new school standoffs instead. These standoffs have the number 6-32 thread on the outside and the M3 thread on the inside. M3 standoffs and screw kits are available for $10 each on Amazon. Another alternative is to get a 1.5 inch number 6-32 screws that can screw into the radiator. 20 count bag of these hard to find fasteners cost $10 each at Amazon. Home Depot has them for cheaper, but not in black. I didn't notice any performance differences between the ways to mount the fans. Since I got the AIO installed the way I wanted, I readjust the BIOS settings. I bump up the Ryzen 7 2700 from 3.7 GHz to 3.9 GHz, and the G.Skill Ripjaw 5 3600 MHz DDR4 RAM from 3200 MHz to 3333 MHz. Performance in Fortnite and DaVinci Resolve is still rock solid. Thank you for watching.